Great at math, logarithms. Calculating log25 over log125 without using a calculator. So I'm going to help you solve this question first, and then I'm going to provide all the notes that you need for logarithms on the side. Here we go. Notice we have 25 and 125. They are both powers of 5. So what we are going to do is rewrite this as 5 to the second power and rewrite this as 5 to the third power. But right now, notice we have log on the top and also log on the bottom. This does not give you a subtraction. Keep that in mind. I'm just going to keep them as how they are right now. We have log. For the 25, it's the same as 5 to the second power. And notice when I have more than one thing inside of the log, I will use a parentheses to make it clear. This means we have log and then 5 squared. This right here is inside of the logarithm. Sometimes you may get log 5 to the second power. You do log 5 times log 5. That's another story. But anyways, do the same thing on the bottom. Log. And then 125 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 5 to the third power. Okay, next, what we have to do is, notice that we have 5 to the second power, a power inside of a logarithm. You can actually bring the power to the front. And notice this, 5 to the third power, we can also do the same thing. And this becomes 2 times log 5. And just a number inside, you don't necessarily need to use the parentheses. On the calculator, you have to though, but anyways. On the bottom, same thing, 3 and then log 5. And log 5 is just a number. Now, what do we have? 2 times log 5 over 3 times log 5. What can we do? Yes, log 5 and log 5, we can cancel them out because this is 2 times that and this is 3 times that. So what's the final answer? It is just 2 over 3. And yes, we are done, just like that. Okay? Now, this right here is just going to be a quick review of the properties that you need for log. All right, first thing first. Notice how we have log without any small number here. In that case, it means we have log base 10. Keep that in mind. So here are the properties that you have to know. The first one is if you have log with some base, let's say b, and if you have, let's say, a times b. So notice there were two things inside multiplying. In this case, you can actually break them apart. You get log with the same base b, and then the first input right here, which is the capital A. And I'm just using parentheses to make this super clear, right? But again, like I said, if you have just a 5, you don't need a parentheses. If you have a multiplication inside, you can break it apart and it becomes an addition. And you get another log, same base b, and then the second thing right here for the inside, which is b like that. Okay. Now, number 2, log base b. If you have a division a over b, this right here is where that you are going to do the subtraction. You get log base b of the top one, and then you are going to minus log base b of capital B. And they are different, so do not cancel them out. It's just the base, like that. And then the third thing is that the one that we use. If you have log whatever base b, and let's say a to some number n, in this case, you can bring the power n to the front, and you get n in the front now times whatever the rest is, log base b of a. So here's the deal. Notice how we have log 25 over log 125. This is a different situation than this because it's just one logarithm and the division happens inside. If it happens inside like this, you can subtract, but it's not. The division is after the log, so you have to do like this. And this right here, it's because you can bring the power to the front, and then here we can cancel down, which is very nice. Now, I do want to mention one thing though. If you have two logs dividing, in fact, you can have what we call the change of base formula, and that's technically number 4. If you have log, and let's just say a over log capital B, this right here is technically the change of base formula. What you do is you have log with this number being the base b, and then this right here being the input A. So if you are going to simplify this right here, you can do the following. All right, this right here becomes, have a look again. When we have log A over log B, this gives us log base B of A. Here the A is 25 and the B is 125. So applying this idea here, we get log, and this number goes to become the base, and then the 25 is inside. So notice here, originally we have just log. It technically means we have log base 10. But now we get log 125 for the base, and then the input is 25. However, if you go from here to here, this question is just as hard as that. So you might as well just go like this, like this, like this, like that.